Hi, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi here with your First Alert Weather Extra on this Thursday, July 3rd. We're a day away from the 4th of July, and once we get to tomorrow, it is a perfect, we're calling it a top 10 day, not just of the summer, but of the year. It's looking really nice out there. Until then, we have a First Alert Weather Day for today due to some strong to severe thunderstorms that we'll likely see later on this afternoon and into this evening. Now, there'll be more of the isolated nature, maybe scattered around the state, but either way, you have to take any of the storms and warnings that you see that we get later. Take those seriously because they could really cause some issues depending on where you are in the state. Now, let's take a live look outside right now because there was some fog first thing this morning. We're noticing a lot of that evaporate and lift on out, which is setting the stage for more sunshine. And more sunshine means more instability. So yeah, the more sunshine we see, the more robust thunderstorm activity we could be talking about later on this afternoon. Now, notice the temperature, 73 degrees, winds, they're calm in New Haven. Old Saybrook, you can see some of those clouds. That was some of the fog that we saw very early this morning, and conditions improving. As we go forward. So any beach plans, you're okay later on this morning and into the first part of the afternoon, but just keep an eye to the northern sky. You see, look at that. We have some people out on their boats, looking good out there. It's an excellent, excellent beach day, at least to start. But once again, this afternoon, any time you look towards the north, you see those clouds, start packing up and head to the car because those storms could really pack a punch later on this afternoon. Winds are locks at 73 degrees. Wind speeds there are calm. Notice in New London, it's 72. Winds are out of the south-southwest there. And we had some fog, but as you can tell, all that is basically gone. Our First Alert Weather Day, though, it's for today. It's later on this afternoon and into this evening. They're saying anytime after 2 to around 9. And we know those fireworks displays are a little bit after that. So maybe if you are in eastern parts of Connecticut and any of those fireworks displays, maybe you're getting there early, you might still be dealing with a bit of rain, maybe a thunderstorm too. So just keep the First Alert Weather app handy. Today is an excellent day for it. The biggest threats, once again, lightning. That's the number one threat, especially with any summertime thunderstorms. Some small hail is possible as well. And then some strong gusty winds. To get a severe thunderstorm, you need those winds to exceed about 60 miles per hour. So that's what we're talking about for today. A lot of people traveling on this day as well. So if any of your plans take you north, they're dealing with some thunderstorms there too, all the way up towards Maine. We'll show you the maps in just a minute. First Alert Live radar, though, scans the state completely dry. Last night, we had an interesting little downpour set up just to the west of New Haven in the area of Orange, say Route 34, between Route 34 and the Boston Post Road, Route 1. Very small area, a couple square miles, but we had that stationary boundary nearby. So the threat for some of these downpours certainly existed, and we saw that just to the west of New Haven, 1 inch to 3 inches of rain in some locations in a very short period of time. So it might have caught you off guard. And it did last a couple of hours. We're watching it on radar. Today, a lot of us will be getting wet for sure, along with those thunderstorms. Temperatures, notice how quickly we're climbing out of the 60s and into the 70s. Chester, you're the warm spot right now, 75, 74 in Bridgeport, 73 in New Haven, 72 in Hartford, 71 in Salisbury, 70 in Waterbury, 69 in Tolland, 68 in Torrington, and 67 degrees in Willimantic. Our dew points. So there is certainly enough instability here to cause thunderstorms later on this afternoon. But notice how they're in the 60s to near 70. This is the one limiting factor in terms of how strong these thunderstorms can get later on this afternoon. Now, as mentioned, it's still plenty high enough to have issues. But if we had dew points well up into the 70s like we did last week, along with the setup that we're seeing today, we'd be talking about a widespread severe weather outbreak. Either way, it's isolated thunderstorms, some of which are strong to severe, are expected later on this afternoon. Wind speeds, notice out of the north and northwest. Still, it's a warm wind direction this time because those temperatures already climbing into the 70s. Now, we talk about wind shear sometimes. That's winds that change with height. They talk, say, it veers with height, meaning it changes in direction and with speed. The higher up in the atmosphere you go. There's plenty of that today. So that's really what's going to be driving these thunderstorms. And it's really going to be a a day you have to keep an eye to that sky, especially to the north and west, because that's where those thunderstorms will be coming from. Now, our dew points, they're elevated today. They drop tomorrow. This is due to that cold front, which is bringing in those thunderstorms. It stays low for Saturday. And then by Sunday, it begins to creep back up. And by next week, Monday and Tuesday, it is downright oppressively humid once again. So, I mean, in terms of the timing, Friday, Saturday, and then even Sunday's just fine. It's warm by Sunday, but still the humidity levels are in check. Perfect timing for the holiday weekend. Really can't get much better than that. If you like the 90s, we'll get those as early as Sunday and then likely into Monday as well. Some indications maybe Tuesday. And as you know, in Connecticut, if you get 3 days at or above 90 degrees, that's a heat wave. So right now we're forecasting Sunday and Monday to be at least 90. We'll see about Tuesday. That's certainly in the realm of possibilities. Now, satellite and radar shows any of the clouds and rain that you see to the east of Connecticut. That's the cold front that came through on Tuesday. Well, technically yesterday, but brought us all the issues on Tuesday. We're in that clearing right now. Notice there's some thunderstorms to the north of Connecticut. Those are not what we're talking about for this afternoon. Those will continue on their eastward trajectory. It's the thunderstorms you see to the north, say still in Canada, to the north of Lake Ontario there. That is what will be, that's the cold front basically. What's the leading edge of these thunderstorms. And those will be coming through the state this afternoon. Now, if you remember from yesterday, that yellow shading, which indicates a level 2 out of 5, was for New Jersey, Pennsylvania, parts of New York, and Connecticut. Well, that's been extended all the way up through Vermont, New Hampshire, and basically all of Maine. So this threat for thunderstorms, as mentioned, if you're heading to the north today, you really got to keep an eye on the radar because you could be impacted by some strong thunderstorms later this afternoon and into this evening, just about anywhere in New England and a good portion of the Northeast. Now, as far as our first alert Futurecast, here's that cold front making its way towards Connecticut. Here's 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Noticing those thunderstorms nearby, diving down from the north and west down to the south and east. 5, 6 o'clock, even 7, maybe 8 p.m., still dealing with those thunderstorms right along the immediate shoreline. So as mentioned, if you had plans to maybe head to any of your fireworks displays early, to maybe have a little cookout, have some food, maybe a few drinks, well, it might not be the best to start, but we are watching improvements, major improvements, anytime after 8 and 9 o'clock tonight. As far as tomorrow, though, 4th of July, what a day. High pressure parked right overhead. It's going to be a pretty stellar day, as mentioned, a top 10 weather day. Let's take a closer look at these thunderstorms, though. So 2, 3 o'clock, if you're up towards the north, say along the Mass Pike up through Albany, that's when those storms will be really causing some issues there. We may see a severe thunderstorm watch get issued. That just means that the conditions are favorable for some severe weather. Would not be surprised if we see that today. And then beyond that, that's when they would turn, we'd see some maybe severe thunderstorm warnings indicating that those storms are happening and ongoing and that you need to seek shelter immediately. Right now, though, say 4 or 5 o'clock, we're looking at those thunderstorms continuing on their southeastward trajectory, impacting everybody, even along the shoreline. You get into it today, some of those heavy downpours, the gusty winds, and of course, that lightning. Remember, if you hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. So just if you're in the pool later on this afternoon, you hear that thunder, head inside. You just don't want to mess around with lightning. Notice what happens by 10, 11 o'clock. That cold front clears the state and conditions, man, it is a perfect day for Friday. I really hope you have the day off because it's going to be excellent out there. Any outdoor activities looking so good. Heading to the beach today. Temperature is very warm. It's a great beach day, at least to start the day. But then the afternoon, we're talking anytime along the shoreline, probably anytime after 3 or 4 is when you're going to want to watch out for some thunderstorms. So most of the day, you're doing okay. Just keep an eye to the sky. And once those clouds get dark, you're going to want to start to pack up. Notice high tide comes in the late afternoon and evening. That's about the time you can expect those thunderstorms. So something to keep in mind. I want to take a quick look at the tropics because the National Hurricane Center has been watching an area for the past several days. At first, indications were it would stay in the Gulf of Mexico. And as of right now, there's nothing that's formed. A little area of low pressure trying to form off the coast of Florida near Jacksonville. But where does it go from there? Some computer models keep it out to sea, some bring it inland, and some bring it up towards the Carolinas. Anything like this, you really have to keep a close eye on. They can form very quickly, and they could change the forecast several days out. So as far as what it looks like right now, no threat to Connecticut, but you got to keep a close eye on it. Right now, about a 50% chance of development over the next 7 days. If it does get a name, the next name on the list is Chantal. Andrea and Barry, if you might not have heard about them because they really were very short-lived and very minor storms. Andrea stayed way out in the Atlantic, out towards Nova Scotia. Barry impacted Mexico. So this could be one that actually impacts somebody along the eastern seaboard. So we'll keep a very, very close eye on that one. Forecast highs today, mid and upper 80s, near 90 in the Hartford area. It's a bright start, but those thunderstorms once again come in later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. Everyone's getting wet today, so some good news for the gardens, but we don't want that lightning. That's something we don't really like to play with in the summertime, mostly because everyone's outside trying to enjoy, I should say, the beautiful weather, especially leading up to a holiday weekend. Your low temperatures tonight, those storms early. Once that cold front passes through, look at that, some 50s. It'll be clear, it'll be cooler, and the humidity levels drop significantly for everybody. So a great night to open up the windows once those storms do pass you by. Your first alert 7-day forecast. Once you get past today, the 4th of July, 84 degrees. What a day. Near perfect. Saturday, 87. Warmth begins to really come back by Sunday. You'll notice those 90s. It's a bit muggy. Still okay, though. It's really not till Monday that we notice those mid-90s. It's humid. It's hot. It's a very warm start to the week. Tuesday, depending on when any thunderstorms form, do we reach 90 in the Hartford area? Yeah, it's definitely possible. We're forecasting right now 87. If we get to 90, that would be our second heat wave. And then for Wednesday, looking at temperatures in the mid-80s along the shoreline, it's going to get quite hot by Sunday and then even into Monday, around 90 degrees there too. All right, that's all we have for right now. Thanks for watching. We'll be back later on tonight at 9:30 to get you another update. And as far as that, if you have the weekend off, enjoy. If not, well, get outside when you can, because look at that. A near perfect 4th of July forecast. Those sunny skies start as early as tomorrow, and then it gets quite warm by Sunday. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and have a happy 4th.